Hey guys, so stay with me to the end of this video, if you will, and I'm going to have some quick tips on why and when to use absolute coordinates, user origin, and or current position. That's hard to go from origin to current. But I wanted to really quickly talk to you guys about Lightburn Bootcamp. It is starting again for CO2s on August 25th, 26th, and 27th. It is 2 hours each night, and it is a full-blown showing you everything through Lightburn step by step, just like I do in my tutorials. So I'm using the keyboard and telling you what keys I'm hitting. I'm showing you not just what the functions are, but how to use them and what the practical uses for them are in everyday CO2 laser engraving and cutting. This class has been extremely popular and extremely helpful, not just for students, but also for me, because you guys come up with some great questions and I create more content. So if you're interested, please click on the link in the bio or go to joneslasercraft.com. Also, if you've made it this far and you do join up for the class, there's a way to get a 20% off discount at the end of this video. But let me go ahead and jump right into coordinates now. And I thank you guys for listening to me blabber on about my little classes that I teach. So I always get the question, when do I use current position, user origin, or absolute chords? So the first thing we're going to do is absolute chords. And what that does, if you notice right here, is it really just mimics your laser bed. So it is stamped in place. It is using the physical laser bed for you to engrave on. This is great if you are going to create jigs or if you are starting with a fresh sheet of material, you're just going to pop it in your laser, pop it up to that corner, or some of you have your origin at the lower corner. That's perfectly fine. That is where we are going to use absolute chords. And that's where I start most of my laser projects. When we start talking about going into user origin, that's where we can jog this laser. So we've got a strange piece and we're going to go ahead and jog our laser. And you can see my little red button moving up there. And if it's jogging too slow like mine is right now, we can change the distance that it jogs. I'm going to go to 100. My speed is 200 and I'm just going to jog it down a little further and say, okay, I've got my piece here. This is now where this is going to start running. So once I've done that, if I want to go ahead and frame this, or if I need to do a little pulse and make sure it's lined up correctly, I can then go ahead and move my laser position out of the way to check my materials. And when it starts the job, it's going to remember that this is where it's supposed to start the job from. So it kind of like stamps it in there. It makes it the new origin. So that's going to be our user origin from current position. Let's say way down here, I'm going to pop it up. And say I've got a piece and I really don't care where it is. I've got it thrown on here, but I've got my laser position right there. That is going to be our current position. That is where it is going to start. So I can either move this portion over to where my laser position is, maybe center it so that it'll start there. It's really for if you don't care where it is on the bed. If my laser is sitting here and I want to start my piece here, that's great. Now, if you want to move a piece, so you've got this piece of material here physically, but you want to move the actual design to this corner to make sure it starts at the right place, there's another tool we can use. That tool is going to be under Arrange, and we are going to go to Move, select Objects to the laser position. So I'm going to move it to my laser position. It's going to move the object, and now I can run it knowing that it is where it is supposed to be. So one, thank you for listening this far, and two, I hope this helped someone today.